Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studios. Diving into what the internet can't stop talking about. It's time for Trending Tuesday on Franklin County's favorite morning show. The starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
And good morning and welcome into the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham with Better Chewy. It is a Tuesday, the 25th of August, which means, Chubert,
yes,
that we're only like, what would that make us, like 35 days away or so from folks being able to start decorating for Halloween, in my opinion.
Starting out with the guns out this morning, Joey.
Listen,
I like it.
I didn't start out with anything. I started getting messages late last night from Clint Powers.
Oh.
Pictures, direct messages. Clint's one of those guys. He's got my number. That he sent me a picture at 8:57 last night. So Guns Out is just in response to one of our guys who decided to send me, he started this mess, decided to send me a picture of his house. He's got like lights and, I don't know, skeletons and all the things. No, clown masks. He's starting to put his Halloween stuff out. He sends me a picture and he says, "Getting Halloween ready. Just getting started," he says. So
shout out to Clint Powers for being a real one. And also shout out to Brett Crabtree jumping in the chat this morning. First one, as usual, he says, "Happy Tuesday."
It is a Tuesday.
That's a funny one.
It is.
If we ever get tired of Trending Tuesday.
Yeah,
dude,
it's way better.
You could let me run the show on Tuesdays.
Okay,
you know
go
what I mean?
for it.
Oh.
It's all you.
You were so ready for that one.
Dude,
you're like...
So the reason I was still up at 8:57 at night last night, I sat down and decided to watch it. I made a mistake.
Oh?
What I did was I sat down and I was like, oh, man, let me see what's on the TV. And then I didn't find anything that I liked, so I switched over to like the shows and movie section and things like that, and I came across Disclosure Day, which I haven't seen yet.
Oh, yeah, I watched that, the Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, let me see like the first 20 minutes of this just to see what it's about, and then I'll watch it later. I'll watch it later. I ended up sitting there watching the whole thing. Didn't go to bed till like 11:30.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because I was so interested. It was so relevant with all like the UFO file things that are coming out and things like that. It seemed very relevant. So I'm exhausted. So if you want to do the show today and let me just be Chubert, we can switch hats and everything.
Okay. Starting off, we're gonna experiment today, folks.
That's not. Listen, when I said I'm going to let you do the show, and the first thing that you say is we're going to experiment, it's
a scary notion.
What kind of, you're not going to probe me, are you?
No. I think let's see. Yeah, okay. All right, it's working. You
got it working?
Yeah, we've got this. Okay,
fine.
Do you want to preface people for this?
Yeah, let me go back and introduce the show.
Okay.
It is a starting lineup. Get involved in the show. You can call into the show 931-967-3500. Just be careful if you get too close to the show. Chewy may probe you. You can also text the show 931-305-5611. Yes, he likes to do experiments, and you could find that out if you tuned into the FMO Facebook feed. You can actually watch the show And I encourage you to do so because the experiment that we're doing today involves the FMO Facebook feed.
It does.
The video feed.
So if there's anybody who's in the FMO Facebook feed watching, this is kind of something for you. I've recently been delving down into the
Don't
whole...
get too excited, folks. It's not. It's we're
goofy.
overhyping it.
It's really goofy. But it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing, and I just want to see if we can try it. So, Joe Abraham, you
Tuesday topic wheel.
Yeah, Tuesday topic wheel. I even have an entire. I moved the guest cam over there to show our whiteboard.
Yeah, it exists.
Yeah, so here we go. All right, we're gonna switch back here on the FMO Facebook stream, and we're gonna see if this works.
We got to have music that goes along with this.
Oh, right. Yeah, hold on here. Let me get some music for you here.
It's got to be some like goofy, silly music. Okay, so it is a trending Tuesday.
All right.
For folks who are just tuning in for the first time ever, this is the first time we've ever done this. Oh my gosh, that is the dumbest looking thing. Can I move over? That's the wrong way. I move over this way.
Okay, you ready? We're going to spin the wheel.
All right.
And it's going to pick out one of our random topics. Everyone in the chat let us know how stupid.
Okay. So we have a topic wheel, a Tuesday topic wheel.
Yeah, I like how we're both leaning.
Yeah, we're leaning to make room for the Tuesday topic wheel on the FMO Facebook feed. So if you're not watching the feed, you're missing out. Today on the show, what are our topics, Chewy, that are on the Trending Tuesday topic wheel?
The Trending Tuesday topic wheels are... We have Lane
I've got it
Kiffin.
I've got it on the board. You want me to just read it off the board?
Well, we've got viral. Well,
okay.
They're a little esoteric because you're like we've got viral videos.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
Space Joe.
Yep.
And then Brown's Suck Again, which and all of these have like little subtitles.
Yeah.
So they all lead into something. So we're gonna see.
I've got to do a better job naming my topics.
Yeah. What? All right. You ready? We're gonna spin the wheel here.
Okay. Go for it. Do do do.
Oh my gosh, it worked.
Do do do.
Oh wait.
Do do do. Oh, there's music. What do we land on?
The Browns. Hey, Browns suck again.
The Browns suck again. Okay, so the first topic we're going to talk about today on the show is how the Browns suck again. I like it. Now, do you delete that one out of there, and then the next time we spin it, we go to the next one?
Sure.
Sure, he says. That these are not the only topics that we can talk about today on the show. I encourage you to get involved in the show. Like I said, if there's something that you want to talk about, we can do that. But we're going to start off with the Browns sucking again. Schubert,
yeah,
I am wearing a different hat this morning. You know why the Browns suck again?
I do, yes. Why don't you inform everybody else?
So I am not a Browns fan anymore, for people who are wondering. I'm a Raiders fan now, and so is Chewy. I've also made him a Raiders fan. Here's my question for you. Can you put your, sports team fandom on injured reserve? Can we put it on the IR? Can we just set my Browns fandom up on the shelf on the IR, and I'm gonna be a Raiders fan? The Raiders also suck, so it's not like I'm bandwagon hopping, right?
Sure.
They suck, and the Raiders, because now I'm a Raiders fan, we just got Fernando Mendoza, and he looks like he might be pretty good. Chewy's going to join me on the Raiders bandwagon because we just can't pull for the Browns anymore. Listen.
You sound about over it, to say the least. Because we kind of went through this whole thing earlier, like a year or two ago.
I've tried to not be a Browns fan. People ask me, well, why? Why are you a Browns fan? How does somebody become a Browns fan? It's a disease. You catch it. It's usually handed down to you by your father I don't know. I want to say it's like a venereal disease or something like that. That's just like some sort of, but you can't take medication for it. I've tried.
Doug Garrett and Brett Crabtree want to know when they stopped sucking.
We were almost not sucky for like a week.
Okay.
Back a couple of years ago. So I have tried to stop. I've tried to get rid of my Browns fan. I've actually gone through like a denial period. I was pretending to not be a Browns fan for a while. There was even a time where the Browns left Cleveland, Chewy. They moved to Baltimore. They became the Ravens. And so I spent about 4 years of my like formative years, I was a Carolina Panthers fan. I was the biggest Kerry Collins fan.
Wow.
And that was I probably needed to stay there. I probably needed to live in that house. But the Panthers are also horrible. You know what being a Panthers fan was like, though? They went to the NFC Championship game their second year in existence. That was like your house burning down, and all of your things go along with it. And you move in with your, I don't know, like your aunt and uncle, and they're really nice to you, and they appreciated you, and they show you love, they care for you, they read you bedtime stories. And then one day your loser parents show back up, and they pull you back out of that house, and they say, hey, we're going to go live back over here in this football asylum, which is the Cleveland Browns, and they pull you back out of that house, and you become a Browns fan once again. The Browns came back, and I wish they had just stayed gone.
Jeez.
I know, that was dark. No, the Browns have officially named Deshaun Watson their starting quarterback for Week 1, Chewy. And I said this the last time that he was their starting quarterback. I can't pull for them with him as their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And it's not just because he sucks. He's also, I don't like him as a person.
Morally reprehensible.
Yes, and I can't wrap my head around it. I can't wrap my head around why and how they could be so blind in the first place as to have mortgaged their entire future for this guy. I have never been a fair weather fan. I have been a Cleveland Browns fan, but I can't tolerate this. I can tolerate losing. I can tolerate being bad and drafting bad players or coaches, adding bad coaches. I can go through bad ownership even. I can tolerate us ruining our uniforms. I can deal with quarterbacks whose names I can't even remember because they started that one time for that one game and then they disappeared. I can deal with a lot. I can handle the Factory of Sadness. I can handle Red Right 88. I can handle the drive, the fumble. I can handle the move to Baltimore even. I can handle 0-16. This is different. Yeah. This is a choice that the Browns, they didn't accidentally end up with Deshaun Watson. They pursued him. They traded 3 first-round picks for him. They gave him a guaranteed $230 million. And they knew the controversy that still surrounded him. And despite all that, they went after him. And Browns fans, we've heard from a lot of people on like ESPN talk about how they can't understand why the Browns would do this, why they would name him the starter, and what it means. When we come back, you're going to hear straight from a Browns fan. I am absolutely horrified at what I'm seeing. We'll talk about it next. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is Dale from Columbus, previously from the Paul Finebaum Show.
Check in scissor hands. I'm the wrong guy to ask, but what's the secret to a good haircut?
A good haircut makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, when you get that haircut, you're going to walk out that barbershop, you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's it. And you're going to tip the barber.
The Paul Finebaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
At Jennings Moore Courtner Funeral Home, we know that every family is unique, and so is every farewell. Our caring, experienced professionals are here to honor your personal requests and traditions with the respect they deserve. Located at 181 Majors Boulevard in Lynchburg, our licensed funeral directors are committed to guiding you with compassion and care. Visit JenningsMooreCourtner.com. Jennings Moore Courtner Funeral Home, serving families with dignity every step of the way. A part of the Courtner family of funeral services.
Now, here's your ESPN Radio Winchester weather forecast. Brought to you by our official smile partner, Dr. Garrett Orr and Winchester Family Dentistry.
Looking forward to some more rainy days headed your way. Rain and showers in the early morning and then sunny by afternoon. High around 90 degrees today with some light winds coming in variably from the southwest and a chance of rain at 40%. Get out there and enjoy your beautiful day while you stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester.
At ESPN Radio Winchester, we're proud to welcome Winchester Family Dentistry and Dr. Garrett Orr as our official smile partner. From routine cleanings and family dental care to helping you feel confident about your smile, Winchester Family Dentistry is committed to caring for patients with comfort, professionalism, and a hometown touch. Whether you're due for a checkup or looking for a dental team you can trust, call Dr. Garrett Orr and Winchester Family Dentistry, proud smile partner of ESPN Radio Winchester.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
All right, it is a trending Tuesday back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester. We rolled out the topic wheel this morning, and unfortunately it landed on, like, the stupidest topic there is, and it is the Cleveland Browns. It's always going to be the worst topic because they're the worst team, and they've got the worst quarterback in the history of ever. So, Chewy.
Yeah.
To blow through this topic real quick, you know, I think that the frustration starts with where we were. Like, we were, as a Browns fan, we were so bad for so long, and then we started to make headway in the right direction. We had Baker Mayfield, we had Nick Chubb, we had Myles Garrett, we won a playoff game. We were doing things, we were headed in the right direction, it felt like. And then we burned it all down.
I'm still a little confused. So are they still locked in with this like multi-year contract with him? And that's the reason he actually did come back, because they kind of not retired him, but like he didn't really play at all.
Okay,
last year.
so I'll tell you what happened. So like 4 years ago or so, they and I will be honest, I did not expect this to work the first time around. Like when they traded for Deshaun Watson, I expected this to go very badly from day one. I can't explain to you the feeling, the pit in my stomach that I had for an entire week or more after they made this trade for him. It really hasn't gone away over the last 4 seasons. But I'll be honest with you, it turned out even worse than I could have expected. I thought it was going to be bad. I didn't realize that it was going to be this bad. Since joining the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson started 19 regular season games. He's got a record of 9-10, 19 touchdown passes, 12 interceptions, and 80.7 passer rating. He missed the final 10 games of 2024 and all of 2025 while recovering from an Achilles injury. Now, here's what happened, Chewy, because, you know, when the Browns get an Achilles injury, it's just not just a regular Achilles injury, which would be bad enough. Like Aaron Rodgers got an Achilles injury when he was with the Jets. It was the 4th play of the game or something like that in his first season with the Jets. Kind of also a very bad franchise with bad luck. He goes down with the Achilles injury. But you know what? Aaron Rodgers came back in a normal timeline. Like in fact, he almost came back that season. They were like, oh, if we make the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers could come back this year. Because, you know, normally when guys get hurt, they work on recovery and they get better and all the things. Well, Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles, had surgery for it, and then like, I don't know, if a month or so, 2 months after he tore his Achilles, he was doing something and he tore it again after the surgery. The guy literally blew his leg out twice. And so they had to do another surgery. So he didn't just miss one season. he hasn't played football since, like, we started to show. It's been so long.
And he's still making like $230 million.
Yeah. Well,
what the heck?
Here's the thing. They restructured his contract. So the good news for the Browns is they've only paid him $100 million to this point. The bad news is if they cut him before June of this next year, they have to pay him like $127 million.
Oh, well, thank God it's only $127 million.
So anyway, he missed the final 10 games of 24 and all of 25. And then last year, if you remember, last year the Browns had moved on. They drafted Shedeur Sanders. They drafted, I don't even remember the kid's name, from Oregon because, they've already given up on him. No, they literally drafted 2 quarterbacks in the draft last year. 2, not 1, 2. And so everybody pretty much thought they had moved on until they didn't. And Watson did okay in the first preseason game. In the second preseason game, he went like 5 of 12 or something. He was awful. But worse than that, he went after the fan base the other day before being named the starter.
Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, because they cheered for him when he blew his leg out.
Oh, yeah.
And then they booed him when he came in the other day at the preseason game. Now, if you're asking your fan base to swallow everything attached to Deshaun Watson because winning is supposed to make it worthwhile, he at least should be good at football. But we traded our future. We gave him guaranteed money. We alienated the fan base. We got rid of Baker Mayfield, pushed him out the door, and he went 5 of 12 for 36 yards and an interception in a preseason game. And that's our starter? That's what you're not selling me on that. And you're certainly, at this point in time, we're not selling our soul for a Super Bowl. Like, that's what initially it felt like. When they traded for this guy, it was like, okay, they have decided to sell their soul for a Super Bowl. They think that this guy is going to win them a Super Bowl. This is how curses are born, right? And in a town that appears to be cursed and already, is soulless, from a sports town perspective, Cleveland is a complete disaster. And I get it. Baker Mayfield wasn't perfect. He is immature. He played poorly through the injury that he had to his shoulder. There were questions, legitimate questions, when he was there. And I'm not pretending that he's Baker Mayfield, but he wanted to be in Cleveland. And he was the type of quarterback who changed the culture up there. Like, he embraced the city. And to me, sometimes it's not about like how skilled a guy is, but just having he's the right fit. He was the right personality for that spot. And from an organization standpoint, they decided that he wasn't good enough. In the meantime, Baker has like grown up a little bit. He still does some immature things. I'm hoping that he, after this season, he hits free agency with the Buccaneers and he ends up back in Cleveland. But Baker grew up a little bit. The Browns have gone the other way, which makes it even harder as a Browns fan to stomach this. We have since traded Myles Garrett. Nick Chubb just retired because, a few years ago he blew out his knee. Baker is probably going to go off for the Buccaneers this year because he feels so disrespected. Man, I understand, right? Doug Garrett is like, oh, once you have a team. I was born into the Browns. I understand that I can't choose another team. I just really want to.
Mm-hmm.
This team has absolutely taken so much from me, and not just me, but every Browns fan out there is just exhausted with this.
Yeah.
If you go on social media, the response to them naming, because here's the thing, say Deshaun Watson plays really, really well. They're not going to give him another contract. He's done after this year in Cleveland. So what is the point of even putting him out there as your starter? What is the point? What are we
winning?
Yeah. Like, we are going to have to either, if Shador's not the guy, which it doesn't appear that he is, if he can't even beat out Deshaun Watson, the expectation at this point is that we're going to draft another quarterback this year. Thankfully, there's a pretty deep quarterback class, or at least it appears to be so, which means that out of the 15 quarterbacks coming out, we'll draft the one guy who sucks. I'm just so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. And I look at the Raiders, and I think to myself, I could be a Raiders fan. Their colors are black and silver. They've got it's like a new day and age, a new quarterback. It's not about wanting to be on a bandwagon. I don't enjoy watching NFL football anymore because of the Browns. I haven't for the last 4 years or so. And I don't know if anybody can relate to that. Have you gone through an era with your team, like the Titans, right? And this is, I guess, something that I'd ask Titans fans. Has there ever been a time where, with the Titans, like when they let Derrick Henry go, did you have this pit in your stomach where you're just like, we just got markedly worse, and we're going to stay that way for the next however many years? Like, it's something that you see the train wreck in slow motion happening, and you can't do anything to stop it.
But you feel like other people who have their hands on it probably should have seen this coming, because everyone else is yelling at them not to do it.
Yeah.
It's equally frustrating, it sounds like.
Well, that's the interesting part of it is it's like we're the only ones. It's like everybody within the organization doesn't care or can't see, and so that's part of it is you feel so helpless to the fact that not only are they blind to the fact that he's awful, but they don't care about what the fans want. And that's hard.
And you would think, with the Browns' reputation in particular, that they would be almost desperate to please fans.
Well, they were desperate. That's why they went and they got him in the first place. Is they thought, they thought that they were one player away from competing for a Super Bowl. That's why they went after Deshaun Watson. Was they thought that if they elevated their quarterback play, that they would be there. Here's the problem: is that the reason they were where they were in the first place, and they didn't see this, I did at the time, but they didn't see this. The reason that they were there wasn't because they were already so close. The player that they had in Baker Mayfield, as a team, they were not as good. He elevated them. He lifted them up. Him and the other guys that they had. And so when they took his personality out, it neutered the entire locker room. And I wonder if that's the feeling that Titans fans went through when they lost Derrick Henry. But now here's the flip side of it. And or here's the comparison that doesn't really equate, right? So you let Derrick Henry walk. Imagine if you had traded away Derrick Henry or let Derrick Henry walk because you thought that O.J. Simpson was going to be like the guy after O.J. Simpson had done all the O.J. Simpson things.
Right.
Like, it's hard to compare it to because there's nothing in the world that I can wrap my head around where it's like, hey, we've got something pretty good here, but we're going to totally blow it up for something that is awful on purpose.
Perfect example, Blockbuster. They had the opportunity to buy Netflix. They looked at Netflix and they said, we don't need that. No one's ever going to do that. And we're going to stick with this model that works. And now look at you.
Yeah.
And then what happened to Blockbuster? There's only one left.
It would be like that, plus
if, like, you know.
They were like, and we're going to not sell DVDs anymore. We're going to go to, like, back to VHS or something.
Right, yeah.
Like, it was such a, not only was it so, like, a lack of foresight, but they also went backwards.
Insult to injury.
It's hard because, again, I can't, there's nothing I can compare it to. There's no comparison that I can think of in sports that and that's why they're calling it like one of the worst trades in history, because it's bad enough what they got, the value that they got for the guy, but also to step into that world with as much controversy around him. All right. Schubert,
yes.
Before we hit the break, can you spin the wheel, or do you want to spin the wheel when we hit the break, or after the break and come back?
We'll spin the wheel when we come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Hey guys, this is Joe Abraham, and I've got to tell you about the all-new Estill Springs Diner, bringing Southern comfort food back to 41A where it belongs. With a family-friendly atmosphere and homemade favorites for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's the perfect spot to bring the whole crew. Starting August 17th, they're open Thursday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7:30, and Sunday through Wednesday, 6 to 3. Find them on Facebook and come check out the all-new Estill Springs Diner, opening August 17th.
Stay connected to Franklin County wherever you go with the WCDT Radio smartphone app. Presented by High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas. With just a tap, you can listen live to ESPN Radio or the all-new Tim's Ford Country. Streaming your favorite sports and outlaw country hits right to your phone. And it's CarPlay enabled, so you can take us on the road wherever you go. Download it today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Just search WCDT Radio or visit WCDTradio.com. It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
Tennessee rescue squads are being reminded of new requirements that will determine their eligibility for state grant funding beginning in 2027. The Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance and State Fire Marshal's Office says the changes are part of the Rescue Squad Recognition Act, which took effect July 1st. Under the new law, rescue squads must be recognized by their local governing body, obtain a valid certificate of recognition from the State Fire Marshal's Office, and file a certificate of charter with the Tennessee Secretary of State. Squads that do not complete the recognition process will not be eligible to apply for future State of Tennessee grant funding. Officials are encouraging rescue squad leaders to review the requirements and begin the recognition process ahead of the 2027 grant cycle. And Tennessee high school juniors and seniors have an opportunity to represent the state in Washington, D.C. through the United States Senate Youth Program. 2 qualifying Tennessee students will be selected to participate in the 65th Annual Washington Week, taking place March 6th through the 13th of 2027. Students will hear from national leaders and get an up-close look at the institutions and people involved in the federal government. Applicants must meet program requirements, including holding a qualifying leadership position in student government and honor society or civic or educational organization during the current school year. The program is open to qualifying juniors and seniors, including eligible home-educated students. Applications are due September 24th, with complete eligibility requirements and application information available through the Tennessee Department of Education. For details on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
You're listening to the starting lineup. For people who don't know what CERN is.
That would be Chewy's. Like, if he could vacation somewhere, I think that'd be a spot he'd go.
I would kill to go to CERN.
I was going to say, I'm so disappointed.
Guided tours right here.
They do?
Guided tours.
No way.
Oh, so it's the thing from Spider-Man.
Kind of. Yeah.
But like in real life, and probably doesn't lead us to other dimensions of more Spider-Man.
That part of it.
It opens up the avenues for the conversation of parallel universes and how particles interact and the speed of light.
So it's the ultimate nerd machine.
I don't know what to tell you. I know it's not much, but this is the best they've got. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio, WCDT Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham and Chewy. Me over here contemplating all things. With again, Chewy, just to wrap up the Browns conversation, I don't need them to win every game. It doesn't take a lot. As a Browns fan, we sit through and we watch them play bad football year after year. I can live with losing. I can live with heartbreak. What I cannot do is pretend that everything that they do deserves my loyalty. And my brothers and my father, they're on that train. They're like, no, they're our team. They're our team. That's what we're going to do. And you know what? I don't have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my Browns fandom on hold. I'm going to pull for the Raiders, and I'm just going to ignore them for the time being. Maybe it'll be permanent. I don't know. It's deeper than just the joke at this point.
Right.
Like at some point it was funny,
but now it's
it was like an ongoing, but now it's gone beyond funny. And I'm not the only Browns. Like, if you go online, people are posting signs. They took an angry Browns fan took a bunch of signs and posted them all over the Jim Brown statue. They're just angry.
Yeah.
They feel, you said it in the break, betrayed. Like, it was one thing when they were trying. It doesn't feel like they're trying anymore. It just feels like they're mocking us. Our own owners are mocking us.
There's an amount of sacrifice of time, resources, money that goes into being like a fan, especially when it comes to like football, because a lot of you guys, you're buying jerseys and helmets and memorabilia, and you're spending money on ESPN and all the 13 different ad-free spaces you got to get to watch your local game for some reason. And it's obnoxious when it feels like the people who are managing it don't even care to listen.
Even just off the top, like I said, going back to the initial trade that didn't make sense in the first place, this was before the NFL had made a decision on what his future was even going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it from that standpoint. We make such a big deal about guys before we draft them and their character and all these things. They gave him $230 million, and the NFL had not even decided legally. There hadn't even been decisions made. They were doing this on the assumption that he was going to get out of it. The NFL suspended him for 11 games after they traded for him and all the things, and that was before he blew out his Achilles. I'm tired of talking about it. To me, it does not make any sense. There's no logic behind it. I'll never be able to understand what they did and why. And it's so obvious to me. It's disgusting. So I'm just frustrated. I'm over it. I'm really not even looking forward to the NFL season. And now with what they're doing to college football, I think I just need to find a new sport. That's one of the reasons I've gotten so into high school football.
Yeah.
The college and the NFL just disgust me right now. All right, let's spin the wheel again. Can we talk about something better?
Okay.
Maybe just different.
I do want to talk about the comments, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we had over 20 comments in the middle of that conversation. Doug Garrett jumping in, telling everyone about, you don't pick your favorite team. It's your train wreck for the rest of your life. And he said, in my best Falcons fan voice. He also said, probably won't be quarterback too long. Just wait it out. And then when Joe said we'll talk about the Browns after the break, it went in from 12 to 2. Brett Crabtree jumped in saying, you were the one who made the topic, Joe, available. Doug Garrett were jumping back in saying, good thing Brett and I are here to listen. We are hardcore starting lineup. Absolutely. And shout out to you. Ricky Tips jumping in, telling me he gets a fancy haircut and then goes right back to the beanie.
Yeah, I know.
Brett Crabtree says they bought a pony and now they have to saddle and ride it. Doug Garrett's agreeing with Ricky Tips in there. Jonathan T. Pritt jumped in saying boycott the Browns. And Brett Crabtree jumping in saying, is it not just as disturbing that someone would willingly embrace Cleveland? And he also asked, on another note, any updates from the injury from last night's JV game? And then Clint Powers says, get on the Steelers bandwagon. And
no.
Yeah, and then Jonathan jumping back in saying, being a Nashville SC fan is fun right now. I saw a guy.
Yeah, Nashville FC is, or SC, not FC, SC.
I will admit, I patrol local content creator pages quite a bit. I just like to see what's up. And I saw a guy the other day going around town doing events, and he had a Nashville SC shirt.
Yeah,
and we used to do those like on the hotline for the sports. That was one of those things that I had. That's the only reason I had the ESPN app was because we did Nashville SC a lot.
Yeah.
And people actually really like them.
I'm not getting on the Steelers bandwagon. That is definitely not going to happen. Here's the thing, too. If all this wasn't a kick in the nuts enough, like the whole Deshaun Watson thing, the Browns. Here's why the Browns are relevant, because they are, even though they're awful, they're still right at the center, right at the heart of a lot of the things that are going on in the NFL. So the tight end that is going to probably play for LSU, Daquan Wright, I believe is his name, is leaving the Browns. Nick Chubb just retired this week. Like, if it wasn't enough a kick in the nuts that they just announced Deshaun Watson as their starting quarterback, oh, yeah, by the way, the best running back you guys have had since probably Jim Brown just retired. And I blame the Steelers. I think it was it Fitzpatrick or who? Somebody took a dirty shot at his knee and blew out his knee, and I blame the Steelers.
All right, you ready to spin a wheel?
Please, let's move on. And I'm sorry to people for that. It's not really a quality breakdown. That's you can hopefully hear it in my heart, in my soul, in my voice, how exhausted I am. Oh my gosh.
Lane Kiffin.
We got to do a better job with the topics. I can't with this show.
I tell you what, Joe. How about this?
No.
User submitted topics.
This freaking Lane Kiffin. Okay.
One right after the other, right?
Just another. Just line me up and kick me right in the groin. Leave it to Lane Kiffin. Every time college football invents a new form of chaos, Lane Kiffin appears right at the center of it, holding like the sign that it starts right there with him. This guy, you got transfer portal free agency, Lane Kiffin is there. Unlimited roster reconstruction, Lane Kiffin is right there. Coaches abandoning a championship run, Lane Kiffin is right there. Now, Chewy.
Yeah.
Former NFL players may be allowed to return to college football.
What? What's the point of it being college?
And who is already waiting outside of NFL facilities with an LSU hat and an enrollment application? Lane Kiffin.
Good Lord.
Everything that is wrong with college football cannot literally be tracked back to Lane Kiffin. Can it? Because I think that if you follow the footprints, if you take out your magnifying glass and you go down that road and you follow the clues long enough, you will eventually find his stupid visor somewhere along the way. The NFL just adopted, or the NCAA just adopted a new eligibility model, Chewy, back in June, where instead of allowing 4 seasons of competition during a 5-year window, generally, that was what the rule was supposed to be, generally, the new system can now allow athletes to play 5 seasons within 5 years. So at some point, they just decided, okay, everybody else gets another year of eligibility. I blame Fauci as well on this because this all goes back to COVID. No, I don't understand what we're doing here. Every aspect of the rules is being subject to like antitrust lawsuits and all of the things. You got players arguing that they're being denied their 5th season that younger players will still receive. And the courts have gotten involved, and the courts, all they've got to do is find one system that will allow them to make this argument. You've got 16 football players receiving temporary restraining orders from a Louisiana court, allowing them to pursue a 5th season and temporarily enter a transfer portal. And LSU is, of course, pursuing them. So a Louisiana court is making the decision, and LSU is going to be the one taking advantage. What are we doing here?
It's sort of becoming a farce a little bit.
When is the federal government going to get involved? Because as a fan, and from the school standpoint, you know what's antitrust? You know what I can't wrap my head around is how they're allowing the players to destroy the sport that was there long before them. And at this point in time, I can't imagine a future on this same road. At some point in time, don't we need to protect the golden calf, so to speak, the thing that got us here? You're making these changes to the rules that is going to make this sport what's the word, Chewy, that I'm looking for? Untenable? You can't keep going this route.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. These aren't high school recruits. These are NFL players.
Then, I mean, like, at some point, is college football just going to be filled with a bunch of NFL guys? Like, is that what, like, that's the end goal, right?
Daquan Wright played his last 2 college seasons at Ole Miss under Lane Kiffin. He was signed by Philadelphia as an undrafted free agent. Then he was claimed by Cleveland and was waived by the Browns on Monday. And it's not that every NFL player is going to go back to college. It is that certain guys who still have eligibility are going to test the waters in the NFL and then go back to college. And here's the thing that destroys it. This is how I don't understand it. If the guy is making more in college football than he could in the NFL, that's a problem. At any level. If you're a premier quarterback in college football and you're able to make more in college ball than you are in the NFL, that's a problem. And if you're on the lower end of the totem pole and you're like a crappy NFL tight end who can't even make a roster, and it makes more sense for you, instead of making the minimum at $230,000 a year to play in the NFL as a practice squad guy, if you're going to make $400,000 in college football versus the minimum on a NFL practice squad, that's a problem. All of these things are problems. The transfer portal's a problem. These guys going from the NFL back to, and everybody, this is the same thing as the Browns trading for Deshaun Watson. Everybody sees it, and nobody is stopping it. Nobody's standing up and saying no. And you've got Lane Kiffin leading the way, and coaches admitting that they pretty much believe that NFL players should not be allowed in college football. But here's the thing. They get paid to win, and their jobs count on it. And if these guys are going to go back to college football, somebody's going to get them. It would not be them. They would not be handling their responsibility if they didn't try and get them. Right? If they're out there, they've got to try and get them. It's their responsibility. You don't want that guy going and playing for somebody else, right? You want him to come play for you. I guess you could argue you don't want to play for anybody, but this is ruining the sport. This is ruining the game.
Money is ruining the game. Is like I think that sounds like the root of it is money and greed. Is like they're getting too ostentatious.
And again, going back to LSU being right at the center of all of it. Jaden Daniels, you've seen all these memes out there about Jaden Daniels, not wanting other people to at LSU to wear the number 5, and all these memes have come out about that. At what point in time does a player, or in this case a former LSU player, think that he is more powerful than the university? It's a joke the way that these kids have been raised up and put into these programs, and the way that they think that they've got way too much power.
It's like the kids running the house.
It is. It is the inmates running the asylum in college athletics right now.
Yeah.
At least in college football. All right, we'll get a break in here and wrap up hour number 1 when we come back. It is a starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
With the latest from around FCHS and Rebel Nation.
The Rebel Report, every weekday, presented by Oaklawn Baptist Church, right here on ESPN Radio Winchester.
Good morning, FCHS. I am Gage.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Bella. Welcome to today's edition of the Rebel Report.
Let's begin with football.
The Rebel football team traveled to Manchester Friday night to open the regular season against Coffee County.
Our Rebels fought hard throughout the game, but they came up short against the Red Raiders.
Keep working, Rebels.
It was only the first game of the season, and there is still plenty of football left to be played.
We know the players and coaches will get back to work and prepare for their next opportunity.
JV football plays tonight.
The junior varsity Rebels will make the trip back to Coffee County to face the Red Raiders.
They will be looking for redemption and hoping to bring home a road victory.
Good luck, Rebels.
Our Rebelette volleyball team will also be competing on the road tonight.
The Rebelettes will travel to Whitwell for a match beginning at 6 p.m.
Go get that win.
We also have 2 exciting home events coming up Tuesday evening.
The Rebelette soccer team will welcome Zion Christian Academy to Franklin County High School.
Varsity begins at 6.
The junior varsity soccer game will be played immediately following the varsity match.
Come out and support the Rebelettes for a full evening of soccer action.
Volleyball is also at home.
The Rebelette volleyball team will host Shelbyville Tuesday night for its first conference match of the season.
The opening serve is scheduled for 6 p.m. Conference games are always important, so the Rebelettes need a great home crowd supporting them.
Let's pack the gym.
With JV football and volleyball traveling tonight, followed by home soccer and volleyball Tuesday, it's another busy week for Franklin County athletics.
We want to wish all our athletes and coaches the very best. Play hard, support your teammates, and represent Franklin County with pride.
That's today's Rebel Report.
Thanks for listening, Franklin County.
Have a great day.
And as always, go Rebels and Rebelettes.
Located at 108 Memorial Drive in Winchester, Oaklawn Baptist Church is a place where families grow, faith is strengthened, and students are encouraged to live with purpose, which is why we're proud to sponsor the Rebel Report. Our mission is simple: introduce people to Jesus and build strong families through God's Word. Join us this weekend for Sunday school at 10 and worship to follow at 11. Learn more online at oaklawnbaptistchurch.org.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester, wrapping up hour number 1.
Had some comments here in the chat. Brett jumped in saying, meanwhile, Arian Carter is still going to be suspended for 2 games of the season for a $400
Right.
flight
Right.
that he ended up paying for,
Yeah.
I might add.
Yeah, the Vols and him should sue the absolute ever-living out of the NCAA. I don't understand. He got suspended for 2 games, Chewy, for accepting a $400 flight or something like that, which I'm sure he has paid back at this point. And you got this type of stuff. You got a literal arms race going on in college football to try and get former NFL players. And this guy is they're giving him the business for taking a flight. Go ahead.
Jonathan Pitt jumping in saying players in the NFL won't be able to go back to college next year, so this will be the only time we will see it.
Right.
Andrew jumped in the chat.
Absolutely bastardizes record books. I mean, it's all of this stuff. It just completely obliterates the standard. There is no standard anymore. There is no governing body, governing authority that sets the standard in college sports anymore.
Brian Pendergraph jumped in saying Arian Carter 2-game suspension, NFL gets in, make it make sense. So yeah, it seems everyone's sort of confused all and frustrated
because Tennessee fans want to know why one of their best players is getting a 2-game suspension when you've got stuff like this going on.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. It does not make any sense.
Sounds like there's also a severe lack of consistency in how the rules are applied.
Well, let me throw this out there, too. What is to stop at this point in time? What's to stop an NFL player who gets cut after, like, week 3 of the season from going back and enrolling at an SEC school in the middle of the year?
Right.
Like, there is nothing. If a player just alternates between LSU and the New Orleans Saints, you know? Like, what if week 3 the player gets cut by LSU or by New Orleans, goes and plays for LSU for a couple of weeks, and then the Saints have an injury and they bring the guy back in? The whole point of college football, of college athletics, was the amateur side of things, and now they're trying to mix amateur rules with professional rules, but really what they have is no rules. It's an absolute disaster. I would rather them take a year off from college sports, college football, and figure this out than keep going the way that they're going.
I think you're right. It sounds like it's sort of poisoning the well a little bit, for lack of a better metaphor.
And here's the other thing, too, is you got players, you got the haves and the have-nots when it comes to players, because there is no players' union in college athletics. So, like I said, it's the Wild West. They've got some rules but they don't enforce them. Every rule that they have, somebody files an antitrust against, and boom, the NCAA has no backbone, no way to enforce anything right now. It's a joke. All right, hour number 2 coming up on the other side. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
No 2 patients are alike. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas delivers care centered around your health, your goals, your story, your recovery. From routine checkups to critical procedures, we use today's medical technology and advanced clinical practices to help you feel better, recover faster, and return home to the community you love. We don't just specialize in care, we specialize in you. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
When you're looking for great food, cold drinks, and a fun place to catch the game, make it Jefferson's in Winchester. From wings and burgers to oysters, appetizers, and more. Jefferson's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, or just a night out with friends and family. This fall, Jefferson's is also proud to host the Franklin County Coaches Show with Johnny Hand all season long. Good food, local sports, and hometown pride. It's all happening at Jefferson's in Winchester. Your floors set the tone for your entire home. Whether you're updating a single room or giving your entire house a fresh new look, trust the team with more than 30 years of flooring experience. Discount Floors and More offers luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, tile, carpet, and professional installation backed by a workmanship warranty. Visit their showroom on the Bypass in Winchester or find them on the web.
You're tuned in to ESPN Radio Winchester, WCDT 1340 AM, W295 AV, 1069 FM. Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studio, it's the starting lineup. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester, Joe Abraham, and Chewy. Two newly minted Raiders fans here on the starting lineup.
Yeah, dude.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders, whoever they are.
Yeah.
I love watching baseball or football or whatever.
Yeah.
Go sports. Yay, sports. That's yes, if you like that shirt, you can find some sportswear. But hey, Spreckens of football.
Yeah.
Johnny Hand this week is going to be talking to Huntland head football coach Kermit Reed over there on the Coaches Show on Wednesday at Jefferson's.
Yeah. So tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. at Jefferson's, join him for the Coaches Show. Also tonight, by the way, South takes on Unity in a middle school matchup. That one is in Petersburg. And here's the thing. Starts at kickoff at 6 p.m. South has literally made the last two teams that they've played quit in the middle of the game. We'll see if Unity can play a full game. Let's go out to Deckard.
Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCDT.
How are you guys out there this morning?
Terrific on this Tuesday morning. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing pretty good, but we can use some positivity up in here. You guys sound like you're having a positive day already. Why don't we start off our day with a really, really good pledge to lift everybody's spirits?
I think we've got fifth graders from Mrs. Yates' class ready to do that for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Friendly reminder, Franklin County, 4 months till Christmas. Please join Deckard Elementary as we
stand, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Beautiful pledge this morning. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, who's our fun back this morning? All right, come on up. They need to hear you loud and proud right now. A dog's sense of smell is 40 times better than a human's.
40 times? Wow, that is
40
impressive.
times.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for that fun fact, guys. That is really cool. I did not know that. Well, thank you so much, Deckard. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.
Y'all too. Thank you.
See ya.
That makes me wonder, like, I can smell you from here. What does that mean for Rosie?
Yeah, Rosie knows when I'm pulling up, dude.
Golly.
Like, I'll pass the gas station down there, and she's like,
she
it's
knows.
that guy.
She knows you're coming in. Coming in hot. All right, so I do want to throw this out there as well. Last week we posted the orange and white Fincham hats.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the winners for those. And I'll contact them through the post as well. But these are the Vol-style Fincham sportswear hats. Congratulations to Tyler Majors and Madison Parton.
There you go.
The winners of those. And they also, part of that whole deal was that they had to post who like would also look good in one of these hats.
Mm-hmm.
So they get two hats. They get an orange one and a white one, and they can fight over them and their whoever the person that they named was. But they can fight over them, but they get two hats technically.
Yeah.
All right, so it is a trending Tuesday. We mentioned South is back at it. We mentioned the Coaches Show. Also, we had a question from Tara on the Facebook page as to whether or not the coaches show stays on the page or if it poofs away and you have to watch it live during the show. No, it actually stays on the Facebook page, and you post it over to YouTube as well, right?
I do, yes. Everything that we do basically is over there on the Facebook or on the YouTube channel as well. So if you ever miss a show or something like that, you can always go to the YouTube channel. But there's a whole section. You go to ESPN Radio Winchester's YouTube channel. You scroll down, and it's got all of the coaches' shows already there for you to go and back watch again. So it'll always be there.
Maybe don't put everything that we do over there. I mean, today's show's really bad.
It's not so bad.
We don't have to put today's show over there.
Bert Crabtree says, that's a weird way to pronounce my name.
That's funny. It is a trending Tuesday, and there are a lot of things trending this morning. If you head on over to X or Twitter, what do people call it? What do we need to call it? Listen, are we still calling it Twitter?
I still call it Twitter because I'm not calling it X, okay?
Can we just go back to Twitter?
Yeah.
Does anybody actually call it X?
I'm sure people do, but I mean, come on. It's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Yeah. There's literally no difference.
It was created as Twitter. It will always be Twitter. I don't understand the rebrand. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I tell you what, I'll call it X, and I will rescind every bad thing I've said about Elon Musk if he resurrects Vine. Do it.
That's not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if I go over to Twitter, on the list of trending stuff, Schubert, just for people to understand, the Browns are on that list. They're number 5. Good Tuesday is number 4. Good Tuesday always trends.
Yeah.
On Tuesdays. WNBA is 3. But number 1 and number 2, which I just added to the board.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to add this to the wheel.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Lake America.
Lake America?
Lake America. You've seen this before. We got the it's not the Gulf of Mexico anymore. Speaking of rebrands, right? It's the Gulf of America now.
Yeah.
That's one I'm down for. I can
Yeah, it's super important. We need to have a federal mandate for that.
Like calling Twitter X, no thanks. Calling it the Gulf of America, yeah, I can do that.
Twitter of America. Okay, so we've got
Twitter
Lake
of
America.
Yeah.
World Police.
All right, so spin a wheel.
So you just want to add that one? You said you had 2.
No, they fall under the same one.
Okay, all right. Let's.
I don't want to give it away. What for you? Because I know that you don't know. Because I just saw this. I didn't realize that this was even a thing.
All right.
Let's pull back up the wheel. Oh, I got to move back out of the way.
Yeah. You
All
ready?
right.
We're gonna spin it.
Spin the wheel.
If this doesn't land on Lake America,
is
there a way to rig this thing?
The good thing is at least these 3 topics. We already talked about the 2 topics that I hated.
Yo,
these 2 are good topics.
Lake
these 3 are good
America.
topics.
There you go.
All right, good job by the wheel for listening. All right, Chewy. So you're probably wondering what the heck Lake America is in reference to.
I definitely am. I don't get it.
So one trending story that deserves a little bit of attention this morning is President Trump saying he is considering renaming Lake Ontario to Lake America as the trade dispute with Canada continues to escalate.
Now, so this guy's not really got a great track record with lanes and waterways and other countries when it comes to trade, huh?
Listen.
It's not like there's another canal he should be really worried about or anything right now.
Getting along with people is not a prerequisite, okay, to being the president of the United States.
Right.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Which means that I, too, could someday be president.
Yeah, dude, if he can do it, I can do it. That's how I feel about it.
That's a good point. The Trump administration imposed a 50% tariff on approximately $20 billion in Canadian goods after negotiations collapsed. Canada is preparing retaliatory measures, and Trump has threatened additional tariffs on Canadian vehicles, auto parts, and steel. Lake Ontario is bordered by both Ontario and Canada. The United States can change what its own government calls something. It cannot force Canada to update the maps. I think it's pretty funny that he's like, you know what? We're not going to buy your cars, and we're going to take your lake. I don't know how this is going to help resolve a dispute between the two. I think it's really just more a jab. You know, that would be like Canada renaming Tennessee whiskey as like Chewy's cough syrup or something like that.
Newfoundland something, you know,
Oh, man.
syrup.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who cares? Like
We already took hockey from them. I don't think there's much left.
I just don't care anymore. He does these stupid stunts all the time. It's the sign of a very weak and sad, pitiful man. I have no interest in like, oh, we're gonna call it something else now.
Well,
it's like, what are we doing?
Can
you go clean up your mess before we do this?
In his defense, I do appreciate the America First standpoint, where like, hey, we have been subsidizing and footing the bill on a lot of these things. A lot of these other countries who benefit from all the things that we do, and they can get upset at us. They can push back on things, but as a country, there's a reason why so many people are upset at us is because they have been getting, in essence, a free ride on a lot of these things. And so when you take that away, they get frustrated, they get mad, and they don't want to have to face the reality of the situation that he's pushing upon them. Now, Canada is an interesting one because they've been they're literally an ally without having to define it as such, right? Like, we've fought side by side with them for forever. So it's interesting. This is definitely one that I'm paying a little closer attention to. But the guy's fighting battles on all different sides right now. And that's what concerns me, is that instead of getting something done, we've got a whole lot of nothing getting done because we've got so many different things going on at once. I don't know. To me, this one's just kind of coming across my radar. The Lake of America thing is funny, but what would a trade war with Canada actually look like outside of the cost of maple syrup flying through the roof? You know, there's a lot of natural resources that come from up that way, right?
Yeah, it would be strange to saber rattle literally your closest ally.
Yeah,
genuinely, like geographically, it's very strange behavior. I don't get it.
All right, I don't have a whole lot more on that one. That's just one that came across my radar.
Yeah, that's it.
Literally this morning. So when we come back, we'll spin the wheel again.
We got two more things left on here after that one.
We may have to add more. Depends on how long we go on some of these.
I'm desperately curious as to what Space Joe is. So we'll see if that actually works.
Yeah.
Honestly, can we also...
That's the only topic I wanted to talk about this morning, and the wheel is not giving it to me. So
I just wanted to tell everyone, like, the whole reason we're using the wheel is we're wondering if these sources are working, and it's working. So thank everyone for your patience. But we were worried that it wouldn't work.
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought I was going to love the topic wheel.
It's kind of obnoxious.
It would take the pressure off of me, to decide, like, to transition. But I think that the transition, the flow of the show is something that I'm good at. This is not working for me. So we may do the thing that the Browns should have done and just cut our losses. Joe's going to pick what we're going to talk about on the other side because I'm sick and tired of the topic wheel.
I do like the board, though. The board is cool. The whiteboard with the topics on it, where everyone just like comes by and writes the topic. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right.
Let's take a break.
We'll be back on the other side. This show sucks, but it is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Pennett's Pharmacy.
Looking forward to some more rainy days headed your way. Rain and showers in the early morning and then sunny by afternoon. High around 90 degrees today with some light winds coming in variably from the southwest and a chance of rain at 40%. Get out there and enjoy your beautiful day while you stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health. Conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, we're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
Well, that was an interesting last segment. Let's try that again. Back to Joe Abraham and Chewy. This is the starting lineup on ESPN Radio Winchester.
Let's see if we can't save this thing from the depths that is the topic wheel. I got to be honest with you. Yesterday, the last couple days, we've been talking about doing this thing with the wheel.
Yeah.
Look at this. My chair's broken. I'm like, this chair is going to crash out on me. We've been talking about this, using this thing, and we're like, oh, we could do a topic wheel. We came up with this idea for the topic wheel and thought it was the greatest idea ever.
Well, I kind of pushed it on you. I was like, I found this topic wheel.
It's a horrible idea.
It's terrible. I'll take credit for this one.
No, the wheel is a cool idea for, like, winners of contests and stuff.
Right. Like, I see it coming back if we do, like, a giveaway in the middle of a show or something. Type in people's names who want to get in. You know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the topic wheel, probably not.
Not a winner. I'm not a fan.
All right. You ready to do it one last time?
No, we're cutting ties with it.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious. We're not going to do it anymore.
Okay.
I've killed it. See, here's the thing. This is the difference between me and the Browns, is that I have determined that the topic wheel ruins the flow of the show, okay? And the flow of the show is the Joe of the show. And I'm the Joe of the show, and we're going to roll with me running the direction of the flow.
I like it. We'll do it.
Flow and Joe rhyme, so I'm going to use those words together multiple times.
And that's just how you go.
And then intermittently, I'm going to make fun of Chewy, and sometimes we'll add in Plank, who joins us now here on the starting lineup. Listen, if you head on over to the FMO Facebook feed, I promise you the last couple of segments of the show are going to be much better than the first few. All right, Schubert, we've been talking about all these different things that are trending.
Yeah, lots of sports stuff.
Yeah, but you know, none of that is going to matter here on what goes on Earth is not my concern. Part of the reason I've been distracted this morning is because I'm thinking about my next career move.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. People are probably going to be shocked to hear that being a lowly Earth radio show host is not my ultimate goal in life.
Okay.
And in fact, I hope you are, packed, your bag's packed, because you're coming with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I think so. I came across a job posting. I think that I'm uniquely qualified for this. I already manage like a couple of people and a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
Okay. It's an unpredictable type of atmosphere that we're in. You got government regulations, which we pretty much, for the most part, ignore. You got weather delays, and you have occasionally had this failure to launch type of thing. I think that I'm perfectly suited for this career move. I'm going to tell you what it is. So there is a a company out there. I just came across this. Chewy, you know Blue Origin?
I do know. That's Jeff Bezos' space thing.
Yeah. And down in Huntsville, Alabama, they're looking for a full-time senior office manager.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know how this even popped. It popped in my inbox. I didn't know that I even still had an Indeed account. And I've been getting these Indeed updates. I don't know where from or why. I think the universe is maybe trying to send me a message, literally. And while people might believe that I would start a conflict with extraterrestrial life before completing my first, employee evaluation, I think that I would be perfect for this role. Not an astronaut, not a rocket scientist, middle management in outer space. I think that somebody needs to stand beside the launch pad with the clipboard and be the person to say, hey, before we send this billion-dollar rocket into orbit, has everybody completed their quarterly workplace culture survey? Has everybody filed their TPS reports?
I would kill to see a Joe Abraham culture speech at Blue Origin. You know what I mean?
I think that I would be perfect for this role. And Chewy,
I could sweep.
I'm taking you with me. And here's the other thing. Once we get to outer space, we've got to have, and this is something that, every space movie I've ever seen, they lack this one thing. Think about Star Wars, think about Star Trek, think about all of these, space concepts, these ideas. They all lack the concept of entertainment within outer space. Just because you go to space doesn't mean that your life needs to all of a sudden become just like boring work 24/7. What do these people do on their off time?
Right.
Do astronauts get like downtime?
They do, and there's actually a reason for this. So early ISS programs, one of the first ones, they were basically working the astronauts to death. And you can go and look this up. This was a real thing. They got so tired and so fed up that they shut off. They figured out how to hotwire and shut off the radio to NASA just so they could have a break. And they did it for 24 hours, shut it off. And they're like, oh, you're never going to fly again. They got like in the most trouble possible.
Yeah.
But it set a really good precedent on work hours, leisure time, exercise, rest on space stations and stuff. So this precedent that you're talking about already exists. So you're just saying
there's got to be a job outside of the now listen, I don't expect us to break beyond the firmament. So it may just be like lower orbit. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that there's got to be a job. I'm not saying I need to be like the director of alien relations, which I think would be an awesome job. I don't need to understand orbital mechanics, Schubert.
Okay.
Maybe you and I could you imagine me as a director of alien relations? We would all, the only person that would be worse at that job would be Trump.
No, dude, because you know what mine is? I'm about to show these aliens who's made in God's image, okay? Because it ain't them. All right? That's my policy. I grew up killing aliens.
That's pretty much, Trump's stance anyway.
I get that.
He renames outer space, Space of America.
Space of America. Just all of outer space.
We would last all of 9 minutes if I was in charge. But no, what I'm thinking is if we do figure out how to get past the Van Allen belt and the firmament and all the things, and we get into outer space, not inner space, outer space.
Right.
If we get beyond, the capable current level of space travel and, all these things that they talk about, speed of light and this, that, and the other thing, listen, all of these ships are going to need entertainment.
I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
So if we had a morning show on a spaceship, I think it would be one of the most popular. Everybody would want to be on our ship just so that they could listen to our show.
Oh, are we in a fleet?
Yeah.
Okay.
There
all
would
right.
be more, and there would be other competing ships, and most of those other ships would have radio shows, like morning shows or talent, and it's, wow, they really don't know what they're doing. They're really not that entertaining. And they probably need to be like, I don't know, doing some other role on the ship, but they just wanted to be the radio. We are the ship that has actual radio guys doing.
I see what you're saying.
Now, sometimes it's slapstick, but it's always entertaining.
So what your point is like we're almost like the ice cream ships in World War II, where it's like this is that one weird, rare thing where
They had ice cream ships in World War II?
They did. It was part of a demoralization campaign against the Axis powers, and it worked. Also, chocolate cake, whenever it was delivered, was apparently a psychological tool against enemy forces. But my point being, this is the weird, rare occasion where these guys, we hired them because for that reason exclusively, is what you're kind of saying a little bit. Like, we don't have any supplementary jobs of, I mean, I guess I could sweep, but like we don't have a backup position. We're just there for that reason.
Yeah, I don't think that they would want us to do anything else.
Okay.
Like, you specifically, I mean...
Brett Crabtree jumping in. He says Chewie said it was a quote unquote real thing. Yeah. No. Doug Garrett come back to see if things got better. I think so. NASA gets paid by the same people who pay movie stars because they're the same thing, Brett Crabtree says. But then he says, and that show would be full of bullshit with a P. I'm just telling you, dude, if I could go to space tomorrow, I would.
We would be so good. So a couple of different things. Number one, I don't think that they're going to have sports in space, right? Like, we don't have enough room for that. So we got to figure out other ways of entertainment. But number two, like, at some point in time, who's going to go on air and review the budget and be like, listen, the captain of the ship said that this bolt costs $14,000. Somebody needs to check this man's budget.
That's what you'd be doing. You wouldn't be entertaining. You'd be...
Can we have an election for a new captain?
I'm hosting a moot next Tuesday live on Facebook.
It's not a mutiny of the ship if we hold an election. And then, like, who would the...
it's not a mutiny if we hold an election.
In space, they don't have sheriff's elections. What would they have? Like, who's in charge of the...
The captain is the dictator of the ship, so it's like
he's a dictator.
He has complete control of that spaceship.
Okay. Then hold on. That's the guy I want to be then.
Okay.
So I can be the captain and also host the morning show.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't need to actually know anything. Listen, when you're the leader, you never want to be the smartest guy in the room. You just, I mean, I just am, but that you don't. You want to surround yourself with people.
You surround yourself with
that
people
are smarter than you,
but don't disagree with you. Also.
Yeah, well,
like that's the most important.
Let me look at Trump. Right? You just think that you're the smartest, and then you ask everybody else for their opinion, and they give it to you, and then you can choose whether or not to listen to them. If you agree with their expert opinion or not, that's up to you. I wouldn't, like, be in charge. Listen, Kirk wasn't the smartest guy on the Star Trek Enterprise.
Sure. I'll give you that, yeah. Data was the smartest in Picard's, it's debatable, but I would say Data. So I understand what you're saying.
Planck would totally be like the Spock.
He'd be first officer for sure. Yeah. He'd be the producer.
I'm just saying. If we actually make it to outer space, somebody's got to be the entertainment up there.
Sure.
You already look alien. You look like you're another species. So if we got captured, I'd want to stick by you because they'd probably come to you and treat you like and you could act like I'm your little human pet.
Well, here's the problem. If I go out into space and people are expecting aliens and then I show up, I could get shot, okay? Like that may be a bad idea.
That's true. All right.
Jim Sanders says, y'all smoking crack. this morning.
Yeah, it's been an interesting morning.
We're
I
wore
stayed
out.
up too late, and Chewy doesn't have an excuse. That's just
My
how Chewy
experiment
is.
failed.
Yeah, Chewy is a failed experiment. Chewy is my failed experiment. This show is a failed experiment today. Listen, some shows are good, some shows are today. It is the starting lineup. We'll be back on the other side with, I don't know, maybe we'll be back with more. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got
Hey
it.
neighbors, Johnny Hand here. Join me every Wednesday night at Jefferson's in Winchester, beginning on Wednesday, July 29th, for the Coaches Show on ESPN Radio Winchester. Each week, I'll sit down with coaches from Franklin County High School, Highland High School, North Middle, South Middle, and Highland Middle Schools. We'll recap the biggest moments from the previous week, preview the games ahead, and take you inside our local teams. Come enjoy some great food, support our coaches and athletes, and be part of the show every Wednesday night at Jefferson's.
It is the starting lineup. So the World Cup is going on right now in America, which means we have visitors from all corners of the world. They spend the last couple of weeks thinking, you know what? Americans aren't that bad. Nothing says welcome to America like a Belgian soccer fan waking up at 7:30 to some guy named Randy blowing up mortars in the backyard and a sleeveless Dale Earnhardt shirt. Welcome to America!
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
Tennessee rescue squads are being reminded of new requirements that will determine their eligibility for state grant funding beginning in 2027. The Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance and State Fire Marshal's Office says the changes are part of the Rescue Squad Recognition Act, which took effect July 1st. Under the new law, rescue squads must be recognized by their local governing body, obtain a valid certificate of recognition from the State Fire Marshal's Office, and file a certificate of charter with the Tennessee Secretary of State. Squads that do not complete the recognition process will not be eligible to apply for future state of Tennessee grant funding. Officials are encouraging rescue squad leaders to review the requirements and begin the recognition process ahead of the 2027 grant cycle. And Tennessee high school juniors and seniors have an opportunity to represent the state in Washington, D.C. through the United States Senate Youth Program. 2 qualifying Tennessee students will be selected to participate in the 65th Annual Washington Week, taking place March 6th through the 13th of 2027. Students will hear from national leaders and get an up-close look at the institutions and people involved in the federal government. Applicants must meet program requirements, including holding a qualifying leadership position in student government and honor society or civic or educational organization during the current school year. The program is open to qualifying juniors and seniors, including eligible home-educated students. Applications are due September 24th, with complete eligibility requirements and application information available through the Tennessee Department of Education. For details on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
This segment of the starting lineup is brought to you by the Furniture Merchandise Outlet in Tullahoma. Tune into the starting lineup with the FMO Facebook feed every weekday. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio, 1340-1069, WCDT, Winchester, Joe Abraham, and Chewy.
I'm mad that you got an update from Indeed about Blue Origin, and I didn't. I didn't get invited to space.
They're looking for a senior office manager, not a senior garbage man.
You know what? That's an important job, sanitation on a spaceship, okay?
Yeah. I've seen Star Wars. Somebody's got to be paying attention to the garbage mashers on the detention level.
Yeah, like I want to be that little worm thing. That's me.
You know, though, if this whole radio thing doesn't work out for you, your long arms could give you an into a lot of different career avenues. Like, you could get into the WNBA. Apparently, they're allowing.
Oh yeah, like
anybody in now.
I'm shooting for the stars, brother. I'm going to the SEC because apparently you can just have eligibility now.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the NFL. All right, I'm not athletically capable of keeping up, but my reach is so long that I think the coaches will see, oh, this guy's going to catch anything.
Yeah.
So I play in there for like a year, do terribly, and be like, well, I'm going to try college, and then I'll go play college, and I'll make at least $17.
If you go to outer space, like, let's go back to this Blue Origin thing, okay? Because I'm trying to wrap my head around what my new life would look like. So if we go to outer space, do we get vacation time while we're in outer space? Like, where would we go on vacation?
It's sort of like an oil rig where you go there and then you just work the entire time you're there and then you go home. But what you're saying, like if you're in like deep space, your vacation would be a staycation where like you don't work for a week.
I think that I could deal with like that whole thing as like growing up a Browns fan. I'm used to bad things happening. I'm used to disappointment. I'm used to. I think I could be really good at being an astronaut.
Yeah.
Or at least like being entertainment on a spaceship where people are kind of like where we're the only option and they're kind of forced to listen to us.
Yeah, okay, I see where we're going.
Yeah, we would like.
You don't want to be the best. You want to be the only option.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful for our numbers, our ratings. It doesn't matter how good we actually are. There's no other option.
I get it. I would, obviously I would be an astronaut if somebody asked, but
you're pretty much a rocket man already.
Yeah, dude. Sure. I mean, like, okay, tomorrow, Jeff Bezos is like, you want to go ride the spaceship? You gonna say no? I mean, I would, but that's just because I have integrity.
You know what's interesting about you going into outer space?
Yeah.
Like, if aliens came along and, like, came down to Earth, me, if I got picked up, it would be, like, I'd be getting abducted.
Right.
For you, it'd be like going home. It's same thing happens. Same, like, process of events happens.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's called one thing. For you, it's called a totally different thing.
Sure. Yeah.
You would just be going home.
Mine's a pickup. Yours is
right.
Yours is an experiment.
You're like the Joe Dirt of aliens. They came to Earth and dropped you off. They're like, "Hey, let's go see the Grand Canyon," and just left you here. I'm fairly certain.
The Joe Dirt of aliens is like I can't even tell if I'm supposed to be offended by that one. The Joe Dirt of aliens.
Oh man, that's such a good movie.
Ah man, so you're telling me their aliens are gonna come back and then they're gonna see me and then they're all gonna be like, "Oh crap," you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
all
much. I mean, if you think about it, Joe Dirt was also on the radio. So,
oh my god, I hate this metaphor.
You're like the same guy.
You're making way too much sense. You're flying too close to the sun, Chris.
All right. It does bring up a funny kind of thought, right? Though, like middle management in outer space would be funny.
That is genuinely hilarious.
We've kind of talked about that before, like
Yeah.
on the Death Star.
There has to be a dude, right?
Yeah.
Or some obnoxious dude who runs around with a clipboard.
Oh, it's like Greg or something like that.
He shows up in those stupid boots. Clunk, 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 clunk.
Jeez. All right. Schubert, one of the things that I've wanted to talk about as well this morning is a viral video. And no, not the one that people are thinking about that happened just a week ago. There's a different video. So, you remember last week we spent most of the week talking about the young girl who ran, the 16-year-old girl who ran onto the field, tackled the 13-year-old player. Well, her family, I don't know who started the GoFundMe page. I saw it at one point in time. It had like $750 in it. They were trying to raise $8,000. It has since disappeared.
Okay.
GoFundMe's policy prohibits fundraising for legal defense. So then her dad went on, and he's apparently a podcaster.
Really?
Yeah, air quotes, podcaster. And he went on his little podcast thing and discussed it. Again, I use that word generously. Anybody can really, be a podcaster these days. Look at us. But it was gross. The whole thing has been gross. And everybody had an opinion on it. Everybody had something to say on it. We needed a viral video to wash like that from our palate, right? I found one.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not going to maybe wash the taste from your mouth. It will make your stomach churn, though, as a guy.
Oh, no. What? Oh, is this about the coach? Yeah. Okay.
So if you haven't seen it yet, and again, this happens every time we're like, oh, man. Alice Davis says, I reported it. She reported the GoFundMe.
W's in the chat for Alice.
W's in the chat. For anybody that reported it. So if you haven't seen it yet, apparently it happened at Royal High School in California. Head coach Adam Brubaker was angry during practice because one of his players had repeatedly been told not to bring guys to the ground during drills. They looked like, in the video, they were in shells. And his frustration with the player boiled over. There was a football lying on the ground, and the coach comes up, and as he's like yelling at the player, he kicks the ball out of anger. And the ball travels about 10 yards and hits the player right in the groin. And the kid drops to the ground instantly. There was no pause. There was no question about where his body just provided immediate confirmation as to where the ball hit him.
Golly.
Now the coach, Brubaker, admits that he intentionally kicked the ball out of anger, but he said he did not intend for it to hit the player.
Sure.
I agree. You can see it in the video. It's just sitting there on the ground, and he just hauls off and kicks it. Obviously he's not trying to hit the player. He's definitely not trying to hit him in the nads. Nobody possesses that level of accuracy. But that is such bad luck. And obviously, too, he lost his temper.
Well, of all the things to do, though. Do you know what I mean? Of all the places it could have landed.
But if that whizzes by the player's head, the guy still has his job.
Mm-hmm. So did he get fired?
He got fired.
He got fired?
He got fired.
Gosh.
I feel for him in that regard that, he wasn't intending to hurt the kid or hit him in between the legs.
Sure, but he still did it.
But he did. You gotta, man.
That sucks.
It's dangerous behavior, right? You lose your temper.
Well, yeah. You know what? That's a good point. This is a good learning opportunity,
I have a legitimate question, though. Can we start a new GoFundMe? Not for the coach.
For the kid.
But I think we're going to need to do exploratory surgery to find this kid's testicles.
Poor kid getting knocked like that, yeah. By the way, I just wanted to shout out BJ Anderson jumping in, saying no safety dude on the Death Star, no railing in sight while the giant laser fires on Alteron. So he's just, maybe there's one guy for the entire Death Star.
Listen, if you saw the budget for the Death Star, they didn't have leftover funds for railings, okay? We talk about, can we get funding for this, that, or the other thing? Can we put this, we need new lights on the football field. You can't see anything out on the softball field or when it gets dark. We're complaining about things that are going. Can we not, change the pattern of the roadway in the middle of the night driving into downtown, like the things that we complain about here. And those poor jerks on the Death Star didn't even have a railing.
Dude, could you imagine some schmuck putting in a maintenance request on the Death Star, dude, on the big-ass space gun? You're like, hey, my light's out in my bunk. Can you come fix this?
Could you imagine the amount of, think about the school district as a whole. How many maintenance requests they have as a whole? And then multiply that by like a lot, because that would be the Death Star.
So there's roughly 1 million people on the Death Star.
Who approves it? Do you have to go to Darth Vader and be like, Darth, this week's report, we lost 18 guys again on level 7 because we don't have a railing. Can we get one of the...
It's
not in the budget.
I'm altering the budget. Pray I don't alter it any further.
There's no budget oversight on the Death Star.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole TV show in itself. I mean, come on now. Like that's what we need to see from Star Wars.
Darth does his taxes, or you think he's got a guy?
Oh, he's got a dude, right? Or a robot for sure. But could you imagine that conversation of the robot being like, you've allocated, over $12 million to a lava estate on some planet? What are you doing? It's like, and he's like, it's personal. And he's like, I'm building an office. And he's like, yeah, but you also put in requests for bedding, a giant bacta tank. It sounds like you're doing a lot more than working. This is illegal. And then he just starts choking the droid.
Yeah. What do you think, like, nonprofit? So, like, as Vader, to avoid having to pay taxes, he's probably putting some money back into nonprofits, or he's got some sort of organization.
Well, I mean, are you going to be the guy to go tell Vader to pay his taxes? Are you sending that email?
Here's the thing, though. So all of the kids that he abducts, basically that's like an orphanage.
Oh, okay. So the entire Inquisitor program is
not just the Inquisitors. I'm talking about
just everybody.
I mean, look at all of the stormtroopers.
That's a good point
that they're in charge of.
BJ Anderson coming out with some epic Star Wars lore knowledge, saying Mustafar is a lava planet with Vader's castles. It's 100% right. He picked that up. BJ Anderson out here. W's in the chat for him. Jeez, dude. Thank you for picking up what I'm putting down. No one does that except for Joe. And then he pretends that he doesn't.
We'll be back to wrap things up, thankfully, on this show. Setting our phasers to stun.
Oh, see, now you're doing it on purpose.
It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
Of Abraham Art Gallery right on the square in downtown Winchester. Looking for something unique? Every month brings a new featured artist, original art to inspire and share with the community. Come in, explore, and discover art that's ready to go home with you today. Whether you're redecorating, collecting, or just need something that sparks joy, this is your place. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. Find us on Instagram and Facebook. Visit abrahamgallery.com or stop by at 106 North High Street. You never know what you'll fall in love with.
The future of healthcare starts here. The Southern Tennessee Regional Health System, Winchester and Suwannee, are joining the High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas, a health network serving communities across the state. We're working together to expand access, improve clinical quality, and keep you close to home throughout your care journey. Your favorite providers aren't going anywhere. It's the same care you know and trust, now with a new name. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham and Chewy wrapping things up.
BJ Anderson coming in saying, triggering us with that one, Joe. Phasers on stun.
So, for people who don't realize, I'm supposed to be like the sports guy of the show, and Chewy's supposed to be the dorky, geeky, trekky, Star Wars-y Wookiee guy. My text ringtone when people, if it's not on silent, which it normally is, but like can you text me right now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Chewy's gonna text me real quick. See if you guys can hear this. I gotta turn it up all the way. This is how much of a secret dork I am.
A secret? Yeah.
Showing people my screen. Could you hear it?
Yeah. It is so funny.
Also, nice text. So it's the communicator beeps from Star Trek.
Dude, I mean, sometimes with you, I just can't, because like you'll be like, it's funny though, because you like let it out, and I can't tell if you're ever doing it on purpose or not. You're like, yeah, you're leaving that breadcrumb trail, but yeah, sure.
You don't know me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know you, Joey. Oh, dear.
Oh, man. Well, here's the problem is that, we're about to get in a war with Canada and Iran and all the things, and we haven't figured out how to get past the Van Allen belt and the firmament yet. So we're stuck here, dude. We're stuck here. We're stuck here on this stupid rock, and we can't get off it, and I just want to go light speed to a different planet, and we can't. We're stuck here.
Well, Elon's trying.
You, me, and Plank.
Me, all three of us.
And Brett Crabtree.
and yeah, the entire starting lineup crew. Ooh, dude, that would be
BJ Anderson is like, well, what do we got to do
to get to Mustafar? Dude, dream
job,
job,
I would take
though.
Mustafar right now over this place.
Dude, Mustafar would be kind of a badass job. I'm not even going to lie. Like, could you imagine working in a castle, dude?
It would be so hot. You don't like the heat.
Yeah, but on the inside, I'm sure they've got good aircon, right? It's in space. I guess Vader doesn't need it with a stupid robot costume. Come on, dude. Let's just go. Let's just try it. I mean, let's go be astronauts. So what's the worst that could happen? They tell us no.
So here's the other thing that I came across. So in terms of the job posting, I talked about how Blue Origin is looking for a senior office manager, which, by the way, not for nothing, if I go to this whole thing, this whole job posting on Indeed, it talks about like outer space and all the qualifications and all the. It's pretty funny. But I came across a video, Schubert, that is even probably more appealing than the space thing. Because again, I don't want to die of radiation trying to get through the Van Allen belt. Shake your head at me. It just is what it is.
It's just shocking. It's a lack of context.
The video that I'm referring to is the guy who's like doom scrolling, and he comes across a posting, and it's like looking for 30 good buddies.
Oh yeah.
Like basically it's a pirate ship.
It says looking for 30 loyal Hardys, and it says possible payment $150,000, and in parentheses says if we find treasure.
Yeah.
You sent that to me last night, and I had already taken my nighttime medicine, and I was like, dude, I texted it to you. I was like, I will pack tonight.
Yeah.
We will leave by dawn, dude.
Why did they outlaw pirating?
Dude, it's the best masculine pastime there ever was. I'm all about being a pirate.
I feel like being a pirate should, these days, I mean, outside of like the raping and pillaging and just murking people for no reason, from a financial standpoint, robbing people, but Like, at least you're being honest about who you are.
I guess so. I think, I don't even think you need to do that anymore. I think it's like you just get on a ship with your boys and you guys go and fish and then
Right.
hang out on tropical islands all
Yeah,
day?
that's true. Like, we could figure out a way to make it without all that stuff. But listen, I mean, like, the government and the NFL and college football, they're way more shady than being a pirate at this point.
Yeah, because at least we're like, hey, we're going to take your stuff. Don't come over here.
Yeah.
You know, like we're telling you, I'm going to take it. And if you come over here, that's your fault, right? It's a good point.
If you were a pirate, what would be your pirate name?
Ooh, I don't know. I can't say on the radio, but the first thing that just popped into my head. Yeah.
Peg leg.
Yeah, sure.
You'd have to have a peg. I could make that happen.
Sure.
I cut off your leg.
Yeah. I'm also kind of like, I think an eye patch would look pretty badass
Yeah.
too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that. Well, why don't?
But you didn't lose your eye.
No, it's just like I just cover up one eye, like you see it out of the bottom, like out of the corner.
Plank would be a good, like, instead of having a like a parrot on your shoulder, you just have Plank riding around on your shoulder.
Oh, that'd actually be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. BJ Anderson jumping in with some more space questions. Light speed or folding space? What do you think will happen first? I would guess probably space folding. I don't think light speed is mathematically possible in the context of like Star Wars and what they do, but folding of space, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I go to Event Horizon with that whole folding space thing, and it you know, we think about folding. It's less folding and more like wormholing.
Yeah.
And to me, that right there to go through, because the space between space, right? Like, would you be going through a wormhole? Would you be going into another dimension to come out on the other side?
I don't know.
You know,
you just have to go through it to figure it out.
Well, and two, would that equate to, from a time space standpoint? Are we looking at time travel at that point when you come out on the other side? Is it the same time, or would time have passed, or would you have gone back in time? Who knows? I feel like light speed is a safer option. I just feel like it's less possible.
So I will say this to wrap up the show here. BJ Anderson jumped in saying, do you know that, guys, we have locals who don't believe in the moon landing is real and the earth is flat? Just saying, if any of those guys want some content, this mechanical engineer volunteers to be the voice of reason, and immediately Brett Crabtree came back
I'm
with,
one of them.
I'm one of them. I know, BJ, I've been fighting with him for 2 years now, so it's okay. It's why we all love each other. But yeah.
We're just a mess.
Yeah.
Like today's show.
Sounds like me and BJ need to have like a space podcast.
Yeah.
And then I would love for Brett Crabtree to be on that podcast with us and crash everything that we say. Like, that would actually be a lot of fun. Like, you and Brett versus me and BJ. That would be an epic. There's our next debate.
Oh, man.
Thank you for everyone for sticking around.
If you watch today's show and or listened, you are a real one.
Yes.
Tomorrow is a Where's the Beef Wednesday. We'll be back in studio. We'll have the Humpback Swamp Donkey in with us. We will not be on location out at El Grider Salon cutting Chewy's hair because that was last week. But it will be a much better show than today's because the bar has been lowered today, my friends.
No more wheel.
No more wheel. No more wheel of topics. Trending Tuesday, we started off with the two most depressing and frustrating topics in the history of ever. And they both involve the Browns, by the way, which is fitting.
Here's to tomorrow. Please come back.
Yeah, we'll try to be better tomorrow. No, on the other side, it is Reliable Rentals Swap and Shop. For Chewy, I am Joe Abraham. This is ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
The starting lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester. Right here in Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet,